He will clock 8 years on the throne in a few months. There have been attempts to depose you, and you fought different battles. Which of these shocked you the most? There is nothing in this life that I passed through that I regretted. I see all occurrences in my life as tests to the next level of my life. There is no peace in this world. The only peace, where there is peace, is the grave. You wake up and fight every day. Even God doesn't sleep. So no attack shakes me. If you are in a school and you write an exam you've prepared for, you must pass. I'm always prepared, and God is my strength. You mean different things to different people. Some people believe you are troublesome, and some will say you are different. How do you really see yourself? When I get to an event, I am not given the right seat. I will tell them that I am a first-class Oba. You should treat me with royalty. Anywhere I am, I always ask for my right, because nobody is going to give it to you on a platter of gold. You have to demand it. When I first became the Olúwo, I realized that this throne had no respect or dignity. The royalty and dignity had been beaten down and almost non-existent. My first outing as the Olúwo, I was placed on the 16th seat, and I said no, this is not my seat. Even in Abuja, I will say no. I know my class in the committee of Obas, so I don't take anything that falls lower than my class. In the Western House of Chiefs, I am number 3. People can say I'm troublesome because they don't understand what I fight for. I fight for my rights in a diplomatic way. I always tell the truth. I don't like the situation where people ask me about myself and I won't be able to answer. How did your journey to the throne begin, and what prepared you for this seat? You know that Yorubas are very deep spiritually, so our kings are chosen by the Olodumare himself. So I was chosen by God to be king, especially for the role I am playing in Yoruba land today, which is to bring all kings back to Olodumare. My father was a prince, a very high prince from Iwo, known as Prince Kola Akanbi. He was an insurance man that worked with marine engineering owned by Fajemi Rokun. I grew up in that house beside Bova's first station at Total Garden in Ibadan. I attended Omolewa Nursery and Primary School. On the 8th day of my birth, somebody came and told my parents that they should not give me the names they had prepared for me. He came with the prophecy that I would be a great king and dropped the names. I would be called Adewale because he would bring the crown home. The crown that had been lost from our family for over 400 years. And I would also be called Olusegun because it would fall under no attack, and also Akorede and Abdulrasheed. He warned them that if they call me any other names, people would be dying. They said the man turned back and disappeared. That was what happened on the 8th day. I was at Iwo Grammar School, but some spiritual issues happened in 1981 that I had to leave. Later, I finished at Ọba Akinyele. Along the line, I lived in Akobo, where I met my family of present Oni. It was part of my kingship journey. The Oni was younger than us then, but his elder brother, Tunji Ogunwusi, was my friend. We used to play soccer together. He was in St. Patrick's, and God later used me for them. You contested against 40 other princes of Iwo, but you emerged winner. Did Ifa pick you at that time? Tell me one king that Ifa picked in Yoruba land. The person who is picked by the governor is the one God has ordained to be king. There is no Oba in Yoruba land that will say Ifa picked him. It is after the governor picked you that you now become a king. Ifa doesn't have any power over the governor. Maybe you watch too much Nollywood movies. Even during our forefathers, they will make the most powerful person at that time king. At that time, I didn't even know the governor because I had just returned from Canada. But I told other contestants who were far richer and popular than that I was the king. Even if you know Barack Obama and the governor, it will not change the fact that I was going to be the next Olúwo. Now, how did you become the Oba if you didn't know the governor? When Olódùmarè wants to work, you can't even understand how he will do it. Just for a few months before I became the king, Olódùmarè just opened the channel. I didn't even meet the governor until the eve of the day I would be announced as the king. I met him at 1 a.m. and that was all. It was the work of Olódùmarè, the God of the Yorubas, the God of our fathers, and you can't understand it. When God brings a king, he brings him for a purpose. Has this throne made you richer? No, I'm just here serving, and that is the purpose I'm here to serve. Nothing else. By November this year, you will be marking 8 years on the throne as the Olúwo of Iwo Kingdom. If there is one thing you have enjoyed about being the king of this town, what would it be? As soon as you are made the king, you must be able to define the position you are holding and why you are being called the king. My prayer every day on this throne is that I should be greater than my forefathers who once occupied this seat. I also pray that by the time I leave this throne, whoever is coming after me should be greater than me. When I first got on the throne, we realized that some of the things we knew were things we were made to believe, but we found out that they were wrong. So the first was to change the status quo by asking questions and making your research. You're a monarch who doesn't believe in worshipping deities, but you couldn't have become a king without some of the traditional rituals you don't want to have around you. Who do you worship and how do you worship it? I worship Olódùmarè without having to go through Ṣàngó, Ọbàtálá, or any other deities. My role as a king is to put people who are worshipping their fathers on the right track. The king does not practice all religion. The king should not be involved in any religion that needs you to pass through another god to talk to Olódùmarè. When kings these days want to defend this, they will say they are following what they met as tradition. But I always tell them that they are following what is from the dark age. You must learn to correct the mistakes of your fathers. As a Yoruba man, I believe that tradition can be done without worshipping of deities. Worshipping deities is not tradition. It is not culture. It is a religion of some people. But worshipping Olódùmarè is the widely acceptable religion and way of life. That is why I feel bad when I hear people calling on angels to come and rescue them or help them take their prayers to God. You cannot call an angel to come and do anything for you because they are not responsible for you. It is like somebody working for me in the palace suddenly disappears, and when I found him and asked where he went to, he told me that another man sent him on an errand. That maid, as far as I'm concerned, does not have a job in this palace again. That's the same way you can't call Angel Gabriel and Angel Michael because they can't help you. Unless his master, God, sends him to you. He will not answer if you call. It is the same way you can't send an angel to God. He will not deliver your message because you are not his master. Do you believe in juju? I don't believe in magic or juju. I believe magic is just like a dream come true. You will hear people say somebody attacked them in their dream, but they woke up later. That's not true. If that person had such power to attack you in your dream, you can't wake up to tell the story. There is so much deceit out there. These things are not real. But God made us kings over everything He created. I am not under any deity or traditional influence. I am far above all deities known to man. What people call Orisha simply means the specially chosen ones. So everybody is special in the face of God, but kings reign supreme over those who are specially chosen, such as Ogun, Obatala, Shango, and other deities known to man. People erroneously say Ọba Aláṣẹ Ìkejì Òrìṣà, but that's not correct. Ọba is not the second in command to any deity. He is above all deities. Recently, the Ọọ̀ni of Ife and veteran actor Peter Doche were in the news because the latter greeted the Ọọ̀ni by shaking hands with him. As the custodian of tradition and culture of the Yoruba race, what do you make of that scenario? And if you were in that situation, what would you have done? I will not shake a Doche. We've seen billionaires like Dangote, Taiwo Afolabi bows when they want to greet me. Otedola bow. Even President Bola Tinubu bows. Babalai Mohammed bows. These are great, great men and are symbols of humility. I can show you their pictures. You can see where President Tinubu greeted me. A old president. But if I were in the shoes of the Ọọ̀ni, I would not shake hands with that man. If you are coming to greet me and you can't bow, then keep your greeting. I have met eminent Nigerians who would greet me with humility, and I will, in return, extend my hand to shake them. You are a luxurious king, but they say luxury is not cheap. It doesn't come cheap, but the way you carry yourself will make people come and ask you what you are wearing and who makes what you wear. That's why I tell people that a king's luxury is his people. If you are milking your people as a king, you will be enjoying luxury in fear, and that doesn't add up to being bold and confident. I am the first king in the world that the people rose to fight on behalf of when some people said they wanted to dethrone me. My people will fight for me because I don't take anything from them. So my people are my wealth, my strength, and boldness, because power lies in the hands of the people, and I am serving them.